Hi there. I've talked before about personal pages, and this time I want to take you into a deeper dive into those pages. I've already explained to you how to create those personal pages in other talks, but now let's go deeper. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Personal pages are free, fast, and fabulous. These awesome tools are a great way to check vocabulary knowledge and to instill vocabulary knowledge to make it more solid. And there's more. If you collect these pages in a binder, it makes a wonderful vocabulary review tool to use as you go along and as the learner progresses. It also, in a way, is a kind of diary, recording special things that might have happened for that learner as you're writing them out day by day or week by week. That guarantees engagement. We all like to read about ourselves, right? You can get creative with this. Name the binder My Book or put a picture of the learner on the cover. In other words, do whatever you can to make this particular wonderful learning tool attractive and appealing to the learner. And personal pages accomplish one more very important thing. It helps derail fake reading. Our learners, especially learners with Down syndrome, are brilliant memorizers of which text lines go with which picture in the book. So as we're going along, they are saying the sentence that's appropriate to the picture, and they can fool us into thinking they're reading. But if we take those same words and put them in a different order in a new sentence, we may be in for a rude surprise that they don't actually know those words yet. They haven't generalized them yet. So using personal pages works beautifully to help them generalize their vocabulary. You know, as we're using the same materials over and over again, we know they're sort of really memorizing those sentences, right? But when we jumble it, when we put words in a different order in new sentences, you can actually see the light bulb go off in the students' eyes or in their brains. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I've seen this word before. I think I know this word. Oh, yeah, right. I have seen this happen in students. It works beautifully. So as part of this process, we take care to rewrite sentences with familiar words in a new word order. And we quickly find out if the learner has mastered those words or not. If not, we keep creating these personal pages until the child begins to realize, oh, I can recognize those words, until the brain gets used to seeing the words in new surroundings and can still recognize them. And as always, when you're using my method, keep a small white card about a business card size in your hand at the ready so that when your learner stumbles or freezes over a word, you immediately put the card down and cover everything except the first sound. Then pull it away a little bit for the first syllable to be exposed, and then you continue with the rest of the word. This is a magic decoding card, and I've written about it in my book, Whole Child Reading, and in my YouTube channels. It's extremely effective, so always have it at the ready. So now let's take this apart and do a deeper dive into these pages. Those of you who are familiar with the Dick and Jane series, which is how my generation learned to read, use that model of repetition when you're creating your personal pages. You remember this? Run, Dick, run, run, Jane, run, see spot, run. Think that way. It's the repetition that is going to help so much getting it into the brain. So let's look at a real life example. This is a personal page written by a mom who's studying my method, and she created this for her emergent reader. She's done an excellent job. She's got it at the right vocabulary level. Of course, it's high interest for her child. And she repeats vocabulary. She's hit it on the nose. So now let's take this personal page and expand it a bit. So this is personal page 1. Let's design a page 2 based on the same Toy Story theme. So you'll notice in this one that we have added the S to the end of, for instance, C, sees. In general, at the emergent level, you want to stay with the base verb. So Instead of love, you're not going to write loved or loving, but you can write loves. Adding the S to the end of a base verb at this level is not going to confuse the learner amazingly. They'll still recognize love, for example, even if it says loves. So that gives us more flexibility. We can build sentences that involve third person rather than sticking to I see, I love, etc. So we have a little bit more leeway. So let's create a third page, going on, following in the same vein as the first two. Now we can add in some words that may be new to the learner, but they're right smack from the very first Dolch pre-primer word list. Words like funny, is, see. So we want to really know what we're doing when we build these personal pages. We want to stretch our learners a little bit, but not overwhelm them. And as long as we're sticking to super high interest topics and the appropriate literacy level for the learner, we're going good. We're good. And this will be a tool you'll go back to again and again and again to review. And of course, for each personal page, you're going to create large flashcards, and you're going to teach that personal page and the cards sandwich style, right? Fast flash, read the material, fast flash those same cards again. So that's it. Take this free, fast, and fabulous tool and run with it. Create something wonderful. You can do it.